Sure.
Okay. Did you hear that?
Yeah, recording in progress.
Okay. So let's see. Okay, I've been giving a lot of thinking and writing on the game, and at the moment, I've come up with there are two versions. One is like a solitaire type where you're just going through things on your own, just to get into the habit, to expand your thinking and ability. On using the one rule. And the other one is it can be with two or more people, and I mean it can be with many people if some of the people are observing. And anyway, so I've been giving thought, and one of the questions that I put to myself, and I'm gonna put it to you and Sarah and other interested people, is what thoughts do you have that would encourage someone to use the one rule? I can share with you some of things that have come to my mind, unless you have ideas that have come to your mind right now.
In a form of a game, you're asking? In a form of a game?
It doesn't have to be. It can be in any form. It's just that in workshops, well, I've done some where there are people who are very attached to what they've done in their lives in terms of their children. They don't want to hear anything else, even if what they're doing isn't working well for everybody. It's so anyway, I was thinking, because see, normally, and I wrote this also, my inclination is that where people are open, that's what makes them likely to take on something new or different, to try it out. And so normally I would think that my attention would go to those people that are already open at least a little bit to this. But then I started thinking of my very strong and deep commitment to children and to having things go well for them. And I realized that some of them have parents who are not being examples of cooperative people to their children, and it's a common thing for adults to be in charge. And this came up when Sarah was asking about what about people that don't even consider or don't even want to consider including children, because there's a difference between adults that don't consider having children as part of the decision making and conversation about decisions um, that involve the children, um, and people who don't want to do that. So the ones who just don't do it could be a little more open than those who don't want to do it. So anyway, I've been giving some thought to all of this.
Uh, yes, it is a very important thing, because I believe that it is an important decision as well, that people should take one rule into their families, introduce that. But what I believe, that those people who are not open towards this one rule mostly have a fear factor. They haven't crossed that borderline. They haven't looked behind the wall. So if in a particular place we can make those people interact who are using the one rule, or or else who are letting their kids, part of their decisions, in a kind of a conference with them, where these parents who use one, like who allow their kids to take part into certain decisions, and who basically do not allow, we make them interact with each other, so they will both try to convince each other with actually reality based examples. And
Uh,
that is, I believe, will be more useful as well, because a person practically has implemented that at his house with any certain example, that before you, man, I was also having a fear, to let my son do this, like, but when I did it, I saw it was awesome, he did it, and I was proud of him. So the first time
right,
is always the harder time, no matter what.
right,
Whenever we tries anything, first time, it is a fear, is a natural thing, that what will happen if we do this, what will happen if we allow our kids, will they go out of our hands, will they not listen to us anymore, maybe we will lose the commanding power in the house. So these fears should come out of the parents as well,
uh-huh,
because what I believe, that parents who do not allow their kids feel insecure in a way, that they
right,
might, because sometimes they even don't know how much to allow and how much not to allow, because this has been not practiced in their family since their ancestors and all, and they will just reply as, this has been going on in our family, come on, we never change our trends, this is how it is, and our children are used to it, you know we know what is best for them,
right,
we know what is best for them. This has to be defined properly. When you say that, when a parent say that we know what is best for our kid, so when, for example, if we ask that parent that, suppose your parents right now make you do something, you won't do it. If it's something you don't find it good, you will say that, I am a father myself, I know what is right and what is wrong. So
right,
so it is something which, how can we implement those things to those poor children who are not allowed to speak freely? And there's no harm in listening to them, at least,
right.
and convince them. This is what I believe. And there can be certain games also, like treasure hunt, in which teams can be done, and and if you unite and your brainstorming is done together, implementing the one rule, so whoever obviously will lead to the whatever the clues and will find the treasure. So one rule
That's good.
actually, yes, one rule is a kind of a security in their house. It's a long term thing. People are not
Yes.
looking at it. It's a long term thing, because you can only control your kid till he is under your control. What will you do when he will lose that part, when he's going to cross that age? Then he is going to obviously he might retaliate also. I can say that he might react in a way that, you didn't allow me, now listen, I can do it, I'm 18 above, I have
Right.
rights, I have my rights. So before things go so worse, give space to your children according to their age, listen
Nice.
to them, affects them. Like I have already posted this in Every Child Special about empowerment for the children. This
Right.
is really very important, because if we parents are not going to, build confidence in our children, their confidence will shatter them. They are will not be able to work, maybe in the office environment or outside the world, because this they might feel that the parents used to say, you are lacking this, you don't know right, you don't know wrong. Sometimes you have to let them think what is right and what is wrong. Let their instincts work.
Right.
Like, this is how our parenting can be tested also. That when you're raising your kids, because it's not the only, like not only the words which raise the kids, it's the practical, it's the feelings, it's a natural bond between the parents and the children. That sometimes you just look at the child and the child understand what mom wants to say, what mom is feeling right now. So words are not the only thing, the connection between the parents and the children. It's even feelings, looking at each other, understanding. They sense with the senses, they can feel that mom is happy. Mom will be very happy if she sees me like this. Sometimes kids also have hope. Like we have hope, they also have hope. And they believe that their hopes will be, because we are the only one they're looking at. God has made us a medium.
Yes.
God has made us a medium to raise them. God has not given us the right to give them food. That is in his hands. He provides shelter. He provides food. So this is our test also. That how we are, raising his little angels. Because
Right.
they are depending on us. So this is a test for the parents as well. In that, one
Mm.
rule is something which from the very beginning, children will learn to take decisions. Because this decision making, I have witnessed with those people who are not allowed to take decision making when they were young, or even after marriage, their confidence level is low.
Right. Well, they don't have the practice.
Yes, and
They
then
don't.
especially the men. If the men confidence
Ah,
level is low, so they feel that like their wife is ahead of them. This inferiority complex also shattered the relationship
wow.
between the father and the mother. So the consequences are very deep, very deep.
Wow. Yeah, I
What
see.
I believe is about understanding, the parents should see this thing. That, come on, it happened with you. Why don't you stop it now then? If it happened with you, it was not right. You knew that at that time. So why are you doing the same thing again and again?
So, Batul, do you think that you would have the time and energy to make an article of this and the next magazine
I will
is
try. I will try my best. Yes, I will try. I will try my best
okay?
and will start writing on the weekend.
I think
And
that
then
would be,
whatever I could, I will definitely write it.
yeah, there's time. It's not anything that you have to um, put pressure on yourself. But I think that this would be a good theme for the next magazine
Yeah,
to
that's great. That's
to have things for people to think about in terms of why they might want to at least try the one rule. So
exactly, because see, when people suffer from certain disease, and when they go to visit a doctor, the doctor can only advise that you
yes.
need a surgery, you need this medicines. He's not going to come at your place. He's not going to give you medicines. He's not going to force you for the surgery.
Right.
So implementing is your part. So over here, like what you are doing is you are providing a free advice to every parent. That this is here. This is the medicine.
Yes,
So
it
now
is.
using it accordingly to the what dose they need, how much they need it. Because right now, what I believe, in technology, everyone is so much involved. Hardly they have time for their families. In one bedroom, they are sitting and looking into mobiles rather than looking into each other. They hardly
Ah,
topic to talk.
right.
So discussion topics have reduced now. Like it was used to earlier. Families used to say, they used to talk on certain topics. Now more our focus is towards mobile. our like
Okay.
what's are coming, what I believe, that people
Yeah.
are distracted with this. So they are not giving the thought that you are missing the quality time of discussion with your families, whether it's children, whether it's parents, whether it's grandparents, whether it's other family relatives. Because unless you don't talk to each other, how will you know each other?
Yes. True.
And everything is not on mobile that we have time to message each other, hi, how are you? But when we see each other, we look at each other quietly, what to say. you know People are yes, we have to take this thing out of our lives now. This COVID has already alerted people a lot, like, see,
Mm.
stay at home, eat, like, thinkings have changed. Consider hygiene issues, sanitization, whatever
Right.
it is,
Right.
people were neglecting. So
Yes.
before it's too late and there will be no concept of families bond, we should, be alert now.
Okay, this is good. I'm glad of hearing all the points you brought up.
This is just my, honest opinion I'm sharing with you, that this is how I
Yeah.
believe it to be.
Yeah, it's good.
We need time from each other. We need someone to listen to us. We need, especially with the kids, if we are not going to listen at this age, then I'm afraid they will be misguided
Well,
by
I think
outside.
they'll get into habits that may not help them.
True, very true. And addicts also, they get addictions also later on, to get rid of
Yeah.
worries and stress, they go for wrong directions.
Right. Yeah.
And then the parents cry that what we have done. No, you have done something. A child went over there. You are, as a parent, responsible for that child. That
Right.
something has happened in the childhood. Like, it's a famous novel of the Christmas Carol, I remember, of Charles Dickens, in which it is like it has been shown that Scrooge has been a mean person and Scrooge is a miser person and he's all about money. But when the ghost of past takes Scrooge in his childhood, there the children witness that why he was rude. So no, your
Mm.
past is always connected with you.
Right.
It
Yeah.
never leaves. It never leaves you, no
But
matter
you
what.
you can always change and fix things if you
True.
want
Yes.
to.
Yes.
So
Yes. Yes. Our
so that's
past
going
is,
to be the yeah, go ahead.
yeah, yeah. Miss, go ahead. I'm listening.
I was just going to say that's going to be the theme for the next magazine. So,
Wow, great.
sure.
Because our past is there to teach us. It's not there that we stick to it, that this is only going to happen with us.
Right.
Because our past is a mistake, like something happens with our past, is a lesson to be careful in your future.
Right.
And one can always change with determination. One can
Yes.
always change yourself. Your whole personality changes if you want to. There
Yes.
are very many
Quit.
examples in this world. Unbelievable things
Yes.
have happened, and people have
Yeah.
showed and proven the world. And especially the leaders, which I believe are the one who are emerged from so much of hardships or struggles in their life. When we listen to their true stories, how they have, come to this stage, the whole struggling over there. So
Right.
parents play a very much important role, especially mothers, I believe, that when they say just a little word to their child, that we trust you. It's
Right.
okay.
Yeah.
It's okay. There's always a next time. It's okay. You did good. I'm happy with you. You did your best. I'm happy. Certain praising words
Yes. Very nice.
boost them. They love you back. That this
Yes.
is they feel protected.
Right.
Animals, babies feels protected when they go to their moms. We are humans.
Right.
Our children should not feel scared to come to us. Even
Right.
if their marks are low, results are bad, they should not
Yeah.
be scared of telling us. They should be
Right.
confident that it's okay. What will mom say? Mom will explain us. And rather than screaming and taking stress, mother should help to, clear that mistake. Help why this mistake happened. It's okay. I'll help you out. We'll work more harder next time. It's okay. You did good. Nothing is more
Nice.
important than the well-being of the child. Nothing,
Nice. Very nice. Yep.
no matter what.
That's
Because
what that's what all this is about.
exactly,
Yeah.
we are running a race with the kids, expecting them to win competitions, to win medals, and to do the best. We're spending money, giving them expensive tuition, sending them here, clubs and all. But what are we doing for their mental health?
Hmm.
What are we doing for their inner confidence?
Right.
The more we put them into these things, the more pressure we are putting on the shoulders. That we expect you. That's why we're putting you in swimming competition. We expect you to win over there. We expect you to do this. We expect you to do that. I think it's more important to spend more time with your kids and let them choose. If they want to go, okay, you like swimming, go ahead, do it. If you don't like, it's okay, leave it. We should not force the kids.
Right.
Let them choose their own desires.
Yes. Yes.
I have
Definitely.
seen children who have become very stubborn because when parents do not listen to them, so they act and they are very aggressive inside. They're collecting this. That my father, it's no use of talking to my dad, he won't listen. It's no use of
Hmm.
talking to my mom, she won't listen. It's no use. There are many times I have witnessed many people sharing many family pictures on the Facebook and Instagrams, and when I talk to kids and they tell me they don't have time. This is just to post on the Facebook. We went over there. Like hardly you give time to your kids. And
Hmm.
like what is this world's going on? Because these pictures are not going to benefit you. These likes or dislikes won't help you in your future. This is the time when you can collect your family together or disperse them. Kids are learning from us.
Yes. They
One rule
are.
is very important, very, very important to implement.
Oh, yes. There's one thing that you don't know. Um, I don't think you know this, but uh, Leslie arranged for the Universal Peace Federation um, to work with Happy Kids,
Wow.
and um, and last weekend, not this past one, but the one before, I met the head of he's the president of the International Universal Peace Federation, but also the head of the United States um, Universal Peace Federation. And
Wow.
he texted me that uh, that they're, let's see what, oh, that they're very grateful to be joining with my great work.
Wow, lovely. That is an awesome news.
So
Congratulations.
so there's so many people connected with these organizations that um, so that it is happening, it
Wow.
is going to be spreading to more and more people. So
Wow, wow. I'm so happy for this.
yeah, me
This
too.
is the aim even that you wanted to spread one rule everywhere. You wanted everyone to know about it. You have been working very
Well,
hard for it.
I told Leslie this was some months ago, because I had in a meditation, I saw my work spread throughout the Universal Peace Federation, uh, to all the people. And
Wow.
so I told her about that. And that kind of, I mean, we've been connected for a long time since they made me and I'm one of the ambassadors for peace.
Wow,
Um,
very nice.
yeah, so it's been going on for, let's see, like the connection maybe 5, 6 years. Um, starting with the Women's Federation, and I'm sure that they'll be involved in this too. Anyway, I just wanted to share that with you.
That is an awesome and a great news. Your
Yeah.
Silver Jubilee episodes is also about to come, and this is another good news together. You can post that on Facebook that Universal Federation will
Ah,
be. That is something, more women which are related with this Universal Federation, they will also get to know about it. They
ah,
might attend the show so to know more about this show, more about this one rule.
interesting. I hadn't thought of that.
It
Thank
would
you.
be amazing. Affiliation with Universal Federation. It would be
Right.
great.
Cool. Thanks,
Yeah.
Batool.
No, not to mention things. I'm always there for you. You know that. And I'm
Yes.
always happy with this work because this, gives me a good feeling
Ah,
that, it feels like, yes, you did something. Like it feels very nice to your heart, to your soul,
yes. Yes.
talking about kids, thinking about their positivity, empowerment, and
Yes.
helping families to get out of trouble,
Yes.
decision making, so many things we talk in this show.
Right. And to keep out of trouble too.
To keep out of trouble and
Well,
how
get
to
out
sort
of
things.
trouble is part of it, but I I hope eventually everybody gets to keep out of trouble.
True, very true, very
Yeah.
true. And unity is strength. The
Yeah.
famous, yes,
Yeah.
unity is, for unity, one rule is the best tool.
Yeah, it is. I mean, it's the essence of it. So,
True, very, very true, very true.
yeah.
It is amazing.
It makes me
We have,
think when you talk of unity, I see the picture of this ladder that you have put up, and
mhm.
that's very much an example of unity because there are all those pieces that make up the ladder, and put them all together, and there you have a
Yes,
ladder.
very, yes,
Yeah,
very true. Even a successful business, a topmost businessman is incomplete without the base.
right.
Underneath a businessman, there are workers helping him. There are
Yeah,
people standing for him, whether it's even a maid, a servant, whoever, but there are support,
right.
different type of
Even
support.
even cleaning up,
Exactly.
people that
Everything matters.
everything.
Everything matters. Even in a
Yeah,
building, a person cleaning up, every fleet department, everything matters. Everything, I
yes,
believe, matters.
everything.
And if we give them their respect and their appreciation, they will work more happily, thinking as a family.
Right. Yeah, yeah,
And one rule is the thing: when you listen to them, when you help them, when they listen to you, and you're together in it. Because
right.
without one rule, success is really not possible to achieve.
Not
Like different
completely.
directions cannot lead to success. I don't
Right,
believe
right,
in family, if people are going in north, south, east, and west and thinking they are successful, that's not the success. Maybe that success is materialistic, but the real success is when all of you together on one platform, celebrating each other's success,
right.
appreciating each other. That's a
Yeah,
true success.
yeah.
That is the true success. Okay, Miss Karen, I have to go now.
Yes, I know. I
And
know.
thank you so much. Lovely, lovely show. And in hopefully, inshallah, next Tuesday I will be there. Talk to
Okay,
you.
that
Okay.
sounds
Bye
good.
bye. Yeah.
Okay,
Okay.
okay,
Okay.
bye.
I'll watch the remaining part on the Facebook.
Okay, sounds
I'll
good.
watch. Yeah. Thank you so much. Bye bye.
Okay,
Take care.
bye, Batul.
Bye bye.
Bye. Okay, now we will do screen share. Let's see. I'm going to start the introduction. Oh, screen sharing. Didn't want to screen share that. Let's see. Okay. Where is it? Okay. It should be popping up here, but it isn't. But hopefully it will. Ah, yes. This is the slideshow. And we'll start here. Okay. Welcome to Raising Happy Kids Zoom Show, episode 49, the one rule to raising happy kids. During this 1 hour Zoom show, I focus on sharing tips and lessons on the one rule to raising happy kids. Each episode has at least one example of the one rule in action, demonstrating how it helps you raise a happy child. Then when we have guests, we have Q&A and discussion. Today, we had the discussion first because the guest had to leave early. When I talk about raising happy kids or creating harmony with kids, I bring up the one rule. The one rule equals agreement. Agreement equals harmony. Using the one rule means you find agreement. That's the rule. You find a solution that everyone likes. You found agreement. You found harmony. Knowing and following the one rule is all you really need to create harmony between you and your kids. In any situation where there are differences that might lead to conflict between you and your kids, use the one rule. I learned this strategy from 3-year-old children. I was teaching them a complex conflict resolution strategy, actually intended for adults, and they taught me this. So don't think you're in for a rough time. It's simple, it's easy, it's powerful and effective. It works if you use it. The one rule, start strong. You have decided that you really want harmony with your child. That sounds so good, right? Everyone feeling good and getting along. You have decided that you do not want to make your child do what they do not want to do, and you do not want to do what you do not want to do, and you are going to make this work. You've decided that you want to use the one rule to make this happen. This is going to become your new habit. You remember that when you use the one rule, you are sharing the following messages with your kids. I want us all to be happy. We are each important. Together we can solve our problems. I believe in you. I love you. To create this new habit, you are going to start with yourself and what you want. You decide that you are going to let how you feel about a situation determine whether you agree with it or not. If it feels good, then you can agree with it. If not, you cannot. Ask yourself, is this situation okay with me just as it is? If yes, good. If no, what would have to change, be different, so that I could feel good about it? Maybe several versions of this situation would feel fine with you, maybe only one. This exercise, this practice, helps you make a habit of following the one rule. No matter what age your kids are, this exercise helps ensure a strong start and makes following the one rule so much easier. Here is something that might make following the one rule even easier. Recently, I asked myself a question. What do I want people to feel when they are connecting with my work? I definitely want them to feel good about themselves. Then the following answer appeared to my surprise and delight. I want people to realize that they are already using the one rule. That understanding surprised me. And as more and more of it was revealed to me, it delighted me. Of course, people are already using the one rule. I'm not teaching them anything they don't know. I am not teaching them anything strange to them. I'm just helping them expand their use of something they use daily without thinking about it. They use it. You use it. Every time you come to a decision inside of yourself, you're using the one rule. Most likely you had to consider several options or possibilities to reach that decision, even if it just took you a few seconds for you to agree with yourself. That is what I want. You also use the one rule whenever you agree with someone else. Together you come to a decision, an agreement. Yes, tomorrow I'll go to the auto parts store after I get my nails done. Even with your kids, you are using the one rule. You're coming to agreements. Think about it. Of course you are. You are just not thinking of it as a rule, as something required. So at times you are not coming to agreement. I'm here to help you think of coming to agreement as required, as a rule, as the one rule. You just expand the situations where you come to agreement until coming to agreement is just what you do and your kids do. It is the rule you and your kids follow. When you use the one rule, you are creating harmony. Your kids are creating harmony. You're becoming familiar to creating harmony, familiar with how good it feels to everyone involved. One point to be clear on is that even if a situation seems complicated, and it seems that it is impossible to find a solution that everyone involved can feel good about, it is still possible. The important thing to remember is that there is a way for things to work so that everyone involved gets to feel good. Keep that in mind. This has been my experience whenever I have made this effort. When you actually start working with your kids using the one rule, helping them follow their interests is one of the easiest ways for you to start. You can understand that, right? It is also one of the most beneficial things you can do for your kids. Why is it good for your kids to do what interests them? One primary reason is that their interest is a key to helping them become the best versions of themselves that they can become. When we do what interests us, we are very engaged and focused. Think about doing something that interests you. When we are engaged and focused, What we do and produce tends to be of much better quality than if we were not interested. Interests, interest helps result in excellence. An even more important result of being engaged and focused is that our whole being is involved in what interests us. That is why we are engaged and focused. We are experiencing harmony, inner harmony. That is a good reason to allow and encourage our kids to do what they are interested in doing. I have observed children doing what really interests them, and they become peaceful, harmonious people, even if they were not before. Now, it does not mean that everything that interests our kids is always going to interest them. They may be interested for 10 minutes or 10 hours or 10 days or 10 years or even a lifetime. The point is following their interests, not the specific thing or experience that interests them. So if they ask for your help, please help your kids follow their interests. If for any reason you really do not want to do what they're asking you to do, that is a perfect time to use the one rule. Another reason for helping your kids follow their interests is one that is taking care of you too. When they are eager to do something instead of resisting doing it, you do not have to encourage them to do it or insist they do it, let alone force them to do it. Think of how much of your time and energy could be available for you to use as you wish. Helping them follow their interests is actually the one rule in action, taking care of you and your kids. I'm glad you're here. Okay, let's see. I think we'll just go right into the next thing I was going to share. Um, which one was this? Okay, well, I was going to, if I had the full hour to work with this, I was going to share the first Guardian story where you get introduced to one form of the game we were talking about earlier. Okay, let's see. But I'm going to do this one because it is the thinking involved here is a good way to start using the one rule. It's kind of the solitaire version that I mentioned earlier. So let's see how far we get. In today's slideshow, we explore a situation where creating harmony is up to you because the other person is too young to be able to participate. Now, this is also true when you get started using the one rule, and you're the only person that knows about it and how to do it. It's good for you to get skilled at it, and this is a way to get skilled. Jenny and Pam were walking Timmy home as usual. You're right, Jen, said Pam. I'll bet Kathy can help me with this. I've just been dreading it. I totally forgot what Kathy said about how we can use the one rule with 2-year-olds, but that it is different than what we do with older kids. Remember, we can use it with grumpy adults too, laughed Jenny. It works really well with grumpy adults, said Timmy. We have a neighbor who used to be grumpy. I've been using the one rule for 2-year-olds with him when I have to talk with him. Now he isn't mean. Sometimes he doesn't say anything, but at least he isn't mean. See, Pam, said Jenny, I'm sure Kathy can help you. Yeah, I'm sure she can, but Dean is a real terrible too. No one can stand to be around him, and I got volunteered to take care of him while my cousin is visiting. You got volunteered? Don't you use the one rule at home? Asked Jenny. We usually do, but this was a kind of family emergency. They couldn't reach me to ask me about it. Mom said that with all my experience with the Guardians, she was sure I'd agree and do a good job. Would you agree? Asked Jenny. I guess. My cousin really needs the help, and I'm the best one to do it. I was letting this get to me. I'm glad you reminded me about talking with Kathy. Maybe that's why this is happening, so I can learn about taking care of 2-year-olds using the one rule. I just hope it works. Then I could get really good paying jobs babysitting 2-year-olds when I'm a little older. If it works, it could be my specialty. Now that's the way to think, Pam, said Jenny. This could turn out great. My mom should be home if you want to talk with her, said Timmy. I may as well, said Pam. The sooner I feel good about this, or at least better, the more I'll like it. As they got to Timmy's house, Mom, Mom, shouted Timmy. Pam needs to talk with you. Kathy came out on the porch. Hi, girls. Come give me a hug, Timmy, and tell me what's happening. Timmy ran up the stairs to hug his mom. Pam has to babysit a terrible two, and she really needs some help. What's this all about, Pam? Asked Kathy. Kathy had become the coach of the Guardians right from the beginning. That was the story I was going to read. When Pam and Jenny first walked Timmy home, she taught them the one rule and did weekly sessions with them where they practiced using the one rule. Those sessions are what's going to turn into the game, the other version of the game. Do you have some time to coach me, Kathy? Asked Pam. Yes, said Kathy. Let's have a snack first. I was just fixing something for Timmy and me. You girls hungry? Yes, the girls exclaimed. As they ate, Pam explained what had happened in her family and that Jen had suggested that Kathy could help her. I'm sure we can figure out a good plan for you, Pam, said Kathy. I'll tell you what I've learned about interacting with 2-year-olds. Yeah, that's what I was remembering you said about working with grumpy adults, said Jenny. That's right, and that sure works, said Timmy. Timmy had become so confident during his time with the Guardians. Okay, let's get started, said Kathy. I'm going to tell you what you have to do differently with 2-year-olds or grumpy adults when it comes to the one rule. I'm also going to tell you why the terrible twos develop and how to avoid them. Sound good? Sure, anything that helps, said Pam. Soon after a child is through the terrible twos, you won't have to do this, but for 2-year-olds, and really anyone younger, like toddlers and babies, you have to be the one to find the harmony. They cannot participate any more than they already are. They are already in harmony with their developmental blueprint, and that takes all of their attention. What's that? Their developmental blueprint, asked Pam. It's what's built into all of us so that we figure out how to move our bodies, like walking. We learn the language where we're born. We learn so much to help us live our lives. And we all learn these things at about the same time and in the same order. That's how we know about the developmental blueprint. I'll tell you briefly what we know about 2-year-olds and their development and why it seems that they are difficult or even terrible. 2-year-olds are developing their willpower. They're making themselves into people who know what they want, who know how to get what they want, and who are determined to keep going until they get what they want. What makes this so difficult for those around them is when they are determined to do and have things that other people do not want them to do or have. That sure sounds like Dean, said Pam. I'm not surprised, said Kathy, because of what you've said about him. To be able to work with him, you have to pay attention to him. As a person at this stage of development, he must practice wanting and being successful. He has no choice. Young children have to do what their developmental blueprint directs them to do. So in a way, he already is in harmony with his developmental blueprint, which guides his development. Harmony? Then why is he such a brat? Asked Pam. He isn't necessarily in harmony with those around him, so it's up to them to get into harmony with him, said Kathy. Get into harmony with a brat? Asked Pam. He's only considered a brat because the adults around him do not understand what he is doing and do not know how to work with him. It can make all the difference if people work with him instead of against him, explained Kathy. So how do I work with him? Asked Pam. First, it helps if you find harmony inside of yourself, asked Kathy. There are various ways. We have a whole training on this. Before he gets there, you could give yourself a timeout. A timeout? Why do I need a timeout? Asked Pam. Just to have some time to yourself, doing something you enjoy, like listening to music or reading or dancing or writing a list of things you're glad about in your life, or even sitting quietly and just paying attention to your breath going in and out of your nostrils, or listening to an app on your phone like dripping water or central air. With the first two, the idea is to get you focusing on what you appreciate about your life. These help you feel the good feelings of harmony inside of you. With the last two, it is to stop your thoughts. This helps you get in touch with the source of harmony inside of you, explained Kathy. I think I'll start with writing a list of things I'm glad about, said Pam. It's good to do this every day to make it a practice, said Kathy. Maybe we can tell all the guardians about this, said Jenny. I want to do it. It's a great idea, Jen, said Pam. Yes, it is, Pam, said Kathy. You can help me with this, can't you, Mom? We can do this together, can't we, Mom? Sure we can, Timmy. So what do I do next? Asked Pam. It's very important to remember that your work is to put yourself in harmony with Dean, since he can't get into harmony with you. Realize that he is doing important developmental work and do your best to think yourself into harmony with him. Make sure you keep feeling good about what's going on between you. That is you being in harmony with him. Pay close enough attention to him while you're with him to notice when he first chooses to do something. He needs to keep practicing wanting something and doing his best to achieve it. If you notice that he is choosing something you do not want him to choose, when he has first made a choice, it's easier to get him to choose something else, something that you feel good about. Once he's become determined to do or have something, it's easier to go along with him and make sure that it goes smoothly, explained Kathy. What did you mean by think yourself into harmony with him? Asked Pam. Let's say you didn't realize that he had chosen to take the TV remote into another room. Since he is already doing it, he is being determined. So, to think yourself into harmony, you might think, I'm going to follow him, and when he's done, I'll make sure to put the remote back, but where he can't get it again. So you think that, and you do that. Now, if you see that he's going to put it in the dog's water bowl, you have to interrupt him. Just do your best to make it an enjoyable experience for both of you instead of an unhappy one. So besides finding harmony inside yourself, paying close attention is one of the most important things. Doing your best to create harmony with the other person is another important part of this. I just had a thought, said Pam. What if we came over here, at least for the first time? Then I could see how to do things. Yes, Mom, said Timmy. Let's do that. I have toys he could play with. That should work out, said Kathy. Just let me know in advance so I can reschedule coaching calls if I have any at that time. I think that I will suggest this as our practice during our next Guardians meeting. It can help in all kinds of situations, even with parents, really with anyone who isn't familiar with the one rule. We all need to know these skills if we're going to introduce the one rule into our families and communities. Great idea, Kathy, said Pam. Yes, said Jenny and Timmy. I am glad you're here, and I think this is going to be the end of our show. Glad you were here. Wish you a great week.